For about a minute, I'd like everyone to close their eyes. And I want you to picture someone who's going through the motions of life. They're getting things done, they're accomplishing tasks, but by the end of the day, they seem to be exhausted and a bit disconnected. And we're going to call this person Person A. Now, I also want you to picture another person who is barreling through life. They're getting things done as well, and they're accomplishing their tasks, but they're invigorated, and they're inviting, and they have this energy about them that you want to grab a hold of. And we're going to call this Person B. So I just want to keep the question in the back of your mind. What could possibly be the major difference between Person A and Person B? Open your eyes, please. Part of what I do in working with adult students is I get to interview them for admissions. And it's always interesting because during the admissions interview, I sort of fire off a list of questions. And so one thing may be, tell me about your life and what brings you to this point. And another question may be, tell me where you see yourself 5 years from now or 10 years from now. And the answers are always interesting. But usually, a lot of the answers I get will be a person who runs down their daily list of activities, followed by the phrase, there's simply not enough time to get it all done. And then on the other end, I find the student who knows exactly where they're going to be 5 years from now, knows exactly what they want to do 10 years from now, but they can't exactly tell me why. So I get to watch these students from the moment they enter college to the moment they receive their degree. And what is so wonderful is I get to watch a transition take place. And essentially the transition is that they are moving from Person A and becoming Person B. They are on a mission. Get out of their way. And I realized all of a sudden that I am either a part of this mission or I'm not, but they've got someplace to go, they've got something to do. And essentially what has happened is they have found their why. A simple internet search of time management will usually point you to the latest article about the best way to restructure your to-do list or checklist so that you become more efficient and more productive. But at the same time, research constantly shows us that by themselves, to-do lists are simply ineffective. And they're ineffective because they're not connected to a larger purpose. In other words, a lot of people don't know why they're doing the 101 things that they do every single day. And so for those of you who love the to-do list or the checklist, I can tell you right now, I am not going to ask you to rip it up and do away with it, because I'm definitely not going to do away with mine. But what I am asking you to do is consider this. If you take that list of all of these important things that have to get done, and you line them up with your goal or your purpose, do you see a clear connection? Does it make sense why you're doing all of these things that you're doing? So for example, in the area of work, if one of the things I do is allow a staff member to take lead of a project that I may normally take the hold of, my reason for doing it may be because I want to create this open and trustworthy environment where everyone builds on top of their strengths. Now, I may cringe because it's not being done right, or I may get very anxious because it's taking a lot longer than it would take had I had a hold of it. But if my reason for doing it lines up with my purpose, then none of that other stuff matters, and it's completely worth it. So I've got a challenge. There are some of you in here who are definitely like Person B. You are on a mission, you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, and for that I say, wonderful, good for you. But you may know someone who is like Person A. And in that sense, my challenge for you is to connect with that person and share ways that have worked for you in life. And then for those of you in here who are very much like Person A, you are doing 101 things and you can't exactly explain why you're doing it. I've got 2 challenges for you. The first one is to be intentional every day about where you're going in life and what you are doing. And then the second challenge is to also connect with someone who can encourage you along the way as you reach your goal. Let us all identify our whys in life and work with each other to achieve our dreams. Thank you.